Hi everyone, welcome to my dynamic dashboard using Microsoft Excel. In this particular video, I'm going to show you how to create this very dashboard right on your screen. So I'm going to be starting from getting the data loaded into, Microsoft Excel. This is exactly the data set you're going to be downloading from me. Have it downloaded and unzip it, and we can actually start from there. Next again is going to be we looking at exactly the blueprint of what we are going to get into. So you have to read through all of this particular text right in here to know exactly what the business wants from you. And after that, we have to look at a rough sketch that looks like this and see exactly how our dashboard should look inside Microsoft Excel. We don't just create, we follow a particular blueprint. And this is one of it as well. Okay, next again is for we to actually load our data into Microsoft Excel. This time around, this is not a basic Excel dashboard. So if I take you over to this particular part pivot right now, go to manage, and it's going to open up this particular part for you where we have all the tables we have loaded into Microsoft, Excel, and have it right in here. Now, if we go over here right now, you can see we create connections between our tables, which simply means we are not actually using traditional way to create our Excel dashboards. No XLOOKUP, no VLOOKUP, no index and match. Instead, we created relationships between our tables. And we're going to be using what is called Power Query to actually have our data cleaned and transformed. So that will definitely help us to take off anything that we don't want. So here is Power Query. I'm going to show you every single thing you need to understand about Power Query. So the most beautiful part of it, if I talk about this particular dashboard being dynamic, it simply means that it's dynamic and we used what is not really common, DAX, which is data analysis expression. This will definitely open your eyes to what is called Power BI. If you have not worked with Power BI before, this particular dashboard here will help you to understand data analysis expression, which is the language used inside Microsoft Power BI to actually create calculations. So we're going to be using it right in here to create this particular dashboard. Beautiful, right? So if you're ready, I'm always ready. Let us get into it and see what we can do to bring this particular dashboard right on your screen to life. So don't forget to subscribe and actually share this to your friends and family. And most importantly, your comment is always welcome because it helps me to actually, feel motivated and create more dashboards for you guys just like this. Let's get into the class. Over here is what we have to look at to have the dashboard created. If you can see, you have to read through this particular text right in here. So just take your time to actually open the one you have downloaded alongside with the data to see exactly what you're about to get into. As you can see, the farm owner does not have any knowledge about data analytics, so he wants us now to actually bring our own expertise into the data set of his own farm. So what can we do? Let me show you the first thing we're going to do. So over here, this is a sketch I have prepared from what I have just read from the text. And now the next thing we have to do is to explore the data to see how the data looks like. So I have already explored the data. I have known how the data looks like. Then I came up with this particular sketch right in here that will enable us to actually create a very nice looking dashboard, interactive, dynamic, and full of insight for our clients. The next thing is for we to start loading in our data. Let us look at what our data looks like. Here comes our data. When you have it unzipped, you're going to see all of those particular files right in there. We're not going to use all of them right now, but we're going to load all those ones we need. So we have our logo right here. So we have the logo. From the logo, we're going to derive what the color of our dashboard will definitely be. So let us get into Microsoft Excel. So over here, we have all the colors we're going to be using for this particular dashboard. The next thing I'm going to do right now is quickly go over here, go to Insert, go to Illustrations, go to Pictures, and this device to bring in the logo. So here comes the logo of the dashboard. If you look at it, this is the logo we have right in here. You have it as well. Use this particular logo to create a very nice looking dashboard. From this logo, we're going to derive our background color, our chart color, every single thing that has to do with colors in our dashboard. And I already have these particular colors right in here for you. Okay, what is next? It is time for us to start loading in our data. So how do we do that? This is a plain slate. It has no data inside it. We have color, we have dashboard, we have analysis. So depends on your screen size. I might not actually, we might not have the same screen size. What I'm going to do right now is to make sure I go over here for my dashboard. I go to the view environment, make sure you turn off the headers, turn off the grid lines, and the formula bar is going to be on and off. Then if you have a default, spreadsheet like this, this is not going to work, right? Make sure you go over here and use auto. And this is going to look something like this. So next again is going to be over here. We're going to put it on 90%. Can you see? 90%. That will actually make you to have more wider, screen. Or that, although it depends on the screen size you have. So you might leave it at 100%, whatever. But I'm using 90% right now. So this is what we have. So now we have to start loading in our data. Once we are done with that, we're going to actually have to do analysis right in here. So let's go quickly over to the top ribbon here. We're going to bring in this particular data from the files we have. So go over to data right here. And from there, go over to this particular get data. And we're going to be using folder, getting data from our folder. So the next thing we have to understand is that we need to know which kind of data that we have, Excel or CSV. So I think we have CSV. So go over to this particular part where it says file and choose CSV right in here. So if you look at it, those are all the files we have right here. They're all CSV. The very first thing I want to take is actually this particular branch right in here. It's very important. So just go ahead and click on import and wait for it to load into Power Query environment. So we just have a few, rows, just 2 columns and a few rows. As you can see, we have little cleaning to do. All we have to do is to go ahead and click on transform data. So this will definitely push the data into Power Query environment where we can actually have our data cleaned and transformed. Okay, over here as you can see, the header is not right. We have column 1 and column 2, and the actual header we want to actually use right now is sitting at a different place, which is this over here. They are the headers we want to use. Now, how do we push these particular headers into the right part? Let's go over to this particular part here and use this particular one that says use first row as headers. Now it has been promoted. You can see we have an applied step right in here. So the name of the table is dim branch. So dim simply means dimension. That actually means that we have one value existing right in here, which means this particular table is very unique. So if you have been watching my videos right now, you must have understood what exactly this one means. So let's go ahead and grab another data. So this is not Power BI. We can't bring in more tables right in here until we load this particular one to Power Pivot. So now we are not going to actually load this particular table into Excel worksheet that we are working on right now. We don't want to see this particular table physically on Excel worksheet. So what do? Go over here, click on close and load to. So this will definitely give us an option to load this into model. Like go over here and click on create only connection. Now add this data to the data model right in here. Then click on OK. So this is going to push the data into a different machine entirely that can actually enable us to create connections between our tables, which is called relationship. Okay, now it's right here. Let's go back again and pick up different data. Go over here, and over here we just have to go straight up to CSV again. The next thing we're going to take right now is going to be the breed right in here. We need the breed as well. So click on import. All right, as you can see, I have actually brought in some couple of tables. So the one we have before is actually branch. So we have breed. Now we have customer, we have expenses, we have payroll, and we have sales. So make sure you bring in all those tables. So what can we actually clean up on those particular tables, starting from the breed right in here? So we have to promote the header. Another way to promote this particular header is to come over to this particular home right in here. While you're on home, go over to the right-hand corner and you're going to see this particular one. Just use the first row as header and that will definitely promote the headers for you. So go over to custom and see if we haven't to actually change. So it's faster doing it over here. So here we go. So expenses as well. I think this is actually cool. We just have to look through this and see if everything here is actually okay, right? So we're going to come back here, but let us go through this particular one, payroll right in here. So this one seems to cool. Okay, seems cool. Okay, let's go through here now. Okay, I think every headers on those ones are very okay. So the next thing we have to understand right now is to go to sales and see what are the columns we have in sales that can enable us to actually have those particular calculations I have extracted right inside here. Those are all the calculations we need to actually create. So we are going to be using standard Excel functions and formulas, right? Although we can use it, but with the way we want to actually create this particular dashboard right now, we have to learn how to use DAX, which is data analysis expression. It's faster with the kind of, dashboard we want to create. Even though if you don't know how to actually go by it, I'm going to show you every single thing you need to know when it comes to using DAX to create calculations inside Excel. So now we want to create total revenue, total bills sold, average selling price, the expenses right in here, payroll, cost of operation, profit, and profit margin. Those are all the simple calculations we want to do. So how do we go ahead and get it done? We have to explore the columns that we need to use, right? So when we want to calculate total revenue, we do it over the sales table right in here. So let us see if we have any column that actually talked about revenue right in here. So over here, we have, yes, I've not seen any column like that. Okay, we have sales amount here. Sales amount simply means the total revenue. You understand? Then if we go this way now, we have this as unit price. Okay, that is good. So when we go to payroll over here right now, this is going to show us how much we have actually paid out. This is the part of expenses. Can you see? Pay amount right in here. So if we go to expenses, we have other expenses right in here. So the expenses and the payroll will actually give us our ability to get this particular calculation done right in here, which means we have to create these particular two measures before we have this one created as well. So it's logical. I'm going to show you how to get everything done. Okay, let's say our data is ready right now. We have one more table to actually bring in right in here, but it's not in our data set. It's going to be a date table. You can call it calendar table. So we have to create it all by ourselves. So this is our main transactional table. All we have to do to have our calendar table created is to make sure we have this table right in here duplicated. Let's do it. Right click and click on duplicate. So once you have duplicated this particular table, all we need is the column that has to do with the transaction date. So which is this particular one right in here. Then right click and say remove other columns. Now we have just this. So what is next? We have to make sure we right click over here and go ahead and say remove duplicates. So this makes this particular table to be very unique so that we can actually use it as one side to other tables that has many sides of it. So quickly double click over here and turn this one to calendar. So now we have our calendar. So we need to add some couple of columns. What are those columns? We need month, we need year, we need month number. If need be, we need quarter. Depends on what you really want to do. Do we really need much columns? No, I think just few. Okay, so make sure you actually select this particular column right in here and go over to add columns. Here, this particular add column here. And transform here, they have something similar, but I'm going to show you how to use them. I have a particular video on this channel that talks about the difference between transform and add columns so that you can actually use it in the right way. So when you click on add column, go over here, you can see over here you have this particular part called year. Click on this and it extracts the years from this particular part for you. So if we click over it right now, we have 2 years of data and the 2 years of data has been extracted. So next again is for we to remove the month from it. So go over here and you see month right here, just click on month. So the month is going to actually come in numbers, which is 1 to 12. So we have to make sure this one is called month number. So this is our month number. It's needed because this is going to help us to sort our month column. So click back over here and click over here now. So if we go to month now, we click on this particular one that says name of month. That gives us this particular January down to December right in here. If you click on the drop down, you're going to see this. But this will take a lot of space. What can we now do? We have to make sure we actually just keep it short. So to get that done now, have the column selected. This time around, go to this particular transform, then click over, extract over here, and extract first characters. So once you click on that right now, how many characters do we want to extract from the right, I think from the right-hand corner? Was it from the right? From the left, okay, from the left-hand corner. So 3 characters. Just put 3 and click on OK. Can you see how short it is right now? This will make a lot of sense. Now, do we need any other column again aside this? I don't think so. If we need other columns, we're going to come back here and add those columns. But for now, we are cool with this. So what is next? It is time for you to load this back to our Power Pivot. Click over to home here and let's go over here. And now we go over to close and load to. Then we click over only, add, then here we go. So it's going to add this over here for us. Now, we can't see the physical table right now until we go to where those particular tables are being loaded into. That is where we're going to actually start creating connections right in. So quickly, you can actually close this over here. Don't panic. If this is your first time, you might be thinking, where does it go? It's easy. If you want to bring it back, go over here and make sure you click on data, queries and connection, you have it back. So let's say you have issues and you want to actually rectify it. So step into it and you're going to see this one up. Just step into it and click on edit. And that way to get into Power Queries, to double click over here and it's going to open up Power Query for you and you can make any changes you truly want to make. Once you are done, just click on close and that is all, right? Okay, now let us take a look at our data. Go over to the top ribbon here. Now over here, can you see this particular? Go to the Power Pivot window. There's another way to get it into it right now. Click on Power Pivot part here and click on Manage. So that will definitely open under Windows for you. So here we go, right in here. Can you see? Every single tables we brought in, they are all here. So now our main aim of being here is to create connections, which means we don't have to use VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, index and match, or any other lookup value existing to actually bring our tables together. Instead, we're going to create what is called relationship, which is connecting our tables together using a relationship. Okay, let's go over to this particular view diagram here. If you have not used Power BI before now, this will definitely make Power BI to be very easy for you when it comes to analyzing data using Power BI. So we have all the tables right in here in a diagram format. So all we have to do right now is to make sure we bring all those tables together. I want to make sure I just put everything on focus. So all my fact tables should actually be below here. Okay, so let us bring it back to normal. So keep this over here. So those are all my fact tables right in here. So you can make sure you open it up to see everything that you have in it. It's all a choice. All right. So when you come over to this particular table, or this one here, you have to look out for where you have an ID, like branch ID, in either of those particular tables below. This is the one side, this is the many side. So if we go over here, we have branch ID. we can decide to drag branch ID from here to this particular part. Then this will create what is called many-to-one relationship. Many-to-one relationship, right? Okay, so you cannot create a relationship between fact sales table branch ID because a relationship already exists between this. Okay, let's click on OK right in here. So the system can just actually have an error sometime. We've just done that. So if you want to take a look at this right now, double click on it. And here you go. We have mapped this to this, which is 100% correct. Then if we go cancel now, where you have the asterisk right in, this particular star is the many side and one here is the one side. Then we have breed over here. So we have to look at it and see if we have any breed ID here, which we don't actually have. So we have to come over here. We have the same branch ID over here. So we have to actually drag in the branch ID and have it on this particular one. So don't worry about this one here. Just cancel it. Now, the question you might have in mind right now, if this is your first time, is that why can't I create branch ID to connect branch ID to this one? Let us try it and see. This is going to be many-to-one relationship. The system will not allow us. So if you read through what it is right now, it's telling us that we have duplicate values in both tables, so we cannot use it. So it's not an ideal, even though if you have the IDs existing in both of them, don't do it. So once you have done this right now, we have connected this particular one. So this is another branch ID to the payroll right in here. So we just have to make sure we drag it and have it over here. So don't bother about this particular one, just click on OK. So we have connected one table to every part of this particular, fact tables, right? So the next thing now is the breed here. So the breed here, if you look at it, the breed does not actually, exist over here. Over here, do we have it? No. Let's see, breed should be on the sales part here. So we have breed ID here. So we have to drag breed ID to this particular one. Under sales, click on OK. So we have it already. So no breed ID over here. Then over here, this is the customer ID. So we have to locate our customers over here and drag customer to this particular part. So click on OK. So customers shouldn't exist inside this particular one. Don't bother about it. Customer only exists on the sales. Under expenses, we don't have any customers, right? Over here, no customers. Customer is already linked to this particular one. So the next thing now is for we to link our date or our calendar table to the three different facts tables that we have. So now, if I drag this particular date right now, I can bring it over to this particular part right in here. You understand? So just click on OK, drag it and have it over this particular one. Then if it brings up this particular one again, click on OK, drag it and have it on this particular one. Then our relationship is actually created successfully. So here we go. So we're now ready to start analyzing our data. You see, that is why it is always good to actually spend some time cleaning, transforming and connecting your tables together if you're going to work with a structured data like this. So right now we are done from here. What is next? We can head up back to this particular part. Once we are here, nothing changed. Everything looks okay. So to step off right now, click over this particular Excel icon right in here. So we are now right into our analysis sheet right here. So I hope this is well understood. If you have any question, don't hesitate to actually use the comment section. It's very important. And sometimes even just thank you can actually motivate me to create more dashboards just like this. So let us keep on going. All right, before we start writing DAX, just like what I used to do inside Power BI, I always create what is called a disconnected table where I am going to store in all my DAX measures. So I am going to do exactly something like that over here. Go over to the top ribbon and right now click on data. From data, go to get data here. So once you're here, let's click on this particular, I think this from here. No, where the heck is that? Okay, from other services right here. You scroll down, you're going to see what is called blank query. Click on that. It's going to take you to Power Query. And right here, we have just created a new table that does not have any relationships with our previous tables. All we have to do is to double click over it and just type in DAX house. So which means we're going to store in all our DAX measures right in here. So just go ahead and click on close and load to. Then that will be actually loaded into the same place. Here we go. So now it is time. When I say it is time, it is truly time to start writing DAX measures to analyze our data. Okay, so I'm going to bring in all of those particular measures I have actually extracted right in here. Let me have it right here. Okay, so here we go. We can have this one closed right now. This is all the measures we want to write, starting from total revenue right here. So how do we go about it? It's very easy. So for the first time, we want to create a pivot table. So because our data set is not located in the surface of our any Excel worksheet right in here, to get that done right now, go to this particular data. No, sorry, insert, then insert pivot table. Then you can see we have our data existing right here, right? Then click on it. So use existing. Then let us place it over here. Then click on OK. Can you see? We have just created our first pivot table, and every single tables we have inside our model is right here before us, right? If you look at it, we have our DAX house here that is actually blank, 100% blank. There is nothing inside it. So we can actually start creating our measures inside here. Make sure you have the pivot table clicked on. Once you have it clicked on right now, go over to here and go to Power Pivot. Here is our measures. So click on this particular new measure and start creating your first measure. Now, this is where you have to name your measure. So once you have done that right now, we have to start writing our DAX measure. So now, to calculate total revenue, what we need to do is to use the sum function, because we have a single column that contains the sales amount. Now we don't have to use sum x that can actually help us to multiply, quantity by unit price to get the sales. No, we just have to do sales amount from our fact table sales over here. So once you have done that, we close. So if you are not too sure of this formula to work, click over check formula here, and it will definitely run through it and tell you it's okay or it's not. So right away, we just use currency over here. Then we can choose from all the currencies we have right in here to actually have it formatted. So I'm going to use this particular currency of my country, no extra decimal number, click on OK, and let us look at it. So we have this right in here. This is our first calculation. The next calculation right now is going to be this particular one right in here. So let's go back to the same place to make sure it automatically, created itself over this particular pivot table. Just make sure it's selected. Go over here, go to here, and new measure. So we just have to create new measure here. So over here, we're going to use the sum function as well. We close over here number. We just do comma separator. We take off the extra decimal number. We click on OK. So it gives us the numbers of the total turkey or birds sold right in here. So next is for you to create the average selling price for it. So we just have to go ahead and create for this. So go over here, go to this particular part, new measure again. So we have this. So here we're going to use a function called divide function. So we're dividing our revenue by the numbers of birds sold. So we divide revenue by this. So here we go. Check it. No problem. We just click on OK. So why does it not come in? So let us check if it has been created or not. So to check it right now, we go over to here. We now click on these measures. Instead of new measures, we just click on manage. So here we have this one here. So we can click on edit to see if it is created. Yes, already created. So close now. So it's not here already. So we just have to check why is it not here. Oh, if you look at it, we just flopped something. We have a particular DAX house where all our DAX should be passed into, but we did not select it while creating our, DAX measures. So now, how do we move it? I have not done this before, but I think it's possible. So if you look at it right now, let's go over to here, and now we go over here. We select manage. So we now click on this particular one here. We click on edit. So while we click on edit, this is actually in the branch, table. So go over here now and select DAX house. Automatically it has been moved. Then click on OK right in here. So click over this particular one again. Click on edit to move it as well. You can see how swift it is. Then go over here and move it over here. So we have to keep our measures organized so that when we need to actually work on make changes to the measures, we know exactly where to go. So we just click on OK. The last one here is this one. Click on edit. And all we have to do is to click over this particular part and over here. Then we click on this OK. So once we are done, click on close. So right now we can go over to that particular table, open it up, and we'll see this. We drag this over here. So if you want to have this format for this one now, click over this particular one. And let's go over here. So here we go. This is the average selling price right in here. So now we have to actually create for total expenses. It's very simple. Select this one. So let's go quickly over to the same place again. Don't forget about here, from there to here, now new measure. So we have to write the name of the measure. Then we just use sum. So we close, we click on OK. So if we want to give the same format again, all we have to do is to click on this particular one and apply the same format from here to this, right? So let's see what is next. Next is the payroll right in here. So for the operational cost right now, it's going to be we bringing two different measures together. And we just have to do, I think it's just this, expenses plus the payroll over here. That gives us the total operational costs. Click on OK. So now we have to create for the net profit. So this one will be here, total revenue, subtracted from total cost of operation, or operational costs. Profit by total revenue. So we can format the percentage from here, select over here, percentage, and just one decimal number. Click on OK. So they have not come here. We can bring them all into this particular part here. Let's quickly go down here. All right, as you can see, we have all the measures we need to have this dashboard created. The next thing right now is that we want to format all those particular values right in here to make sure it's actually not as huge as this. Maybe it's going to be 287.5 million, and all of that. So I want to run you through the very easiest way to have this done. So I'm going to do equals right in here. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to say, if this particular value right here is some kind of greater than or equal to 1 million. Then, if that is the case, we want to use a function called text function. The text function right now will actually take this particular value here and divide it by 1 million. So once it has done that, the next thing we have to do right now is to format it using 0.0. Then we're going to put here a hash key. Okay, I think 0.0, yeah, no, close it. Then we just do this. And now we concatenate using the particular one. Then we do then we close. So which means we have just formatted this now to just 287.5 million. That is how easy it is, right? So other than this, you can actually format it if it's in thousand, in million, in billion, in trillion. It depends on what you really want. It's optional, right? So we don't have much value right in here. But for a precaution, should this business, grow to billion, you can always add it up to billion. So what is next right now? The next thing we have to do right away is for we to actually use that if function again. So if now this value here is less than or equal to 1,000, then text, then we take this number here, we divide it by 1,000, comma 0.0, then we close ampersand here, we format this one into K. That is 1,000. We just accounted for million and thousand, then 100. We did not put into consideration billion, trillion, and others. So you can always do that when you have more numbers. I have taught this over and over again on my previous tutorials on this particular channel, which is very simple and easy. So now, once you have done that, you put in that if again. I think for now, we don't have to use that if. We just use text function here. Text, take this particular number, divide it by, no, don't divide it, just comma. Then we do hash, comma, hash, hash, close, and over here, 1, 2. Close for this. So what is this? Should have a comma here. Can you see it now? So let me just drag this around to this part here. So what we don't need to format right now is this particular one here. We don't need formatting for this one. So we need formatting for this particular one over here. So if you want to add the Naira sign or your currency, your country currency right now, you have to go to Google and find it. Let me show you how to get it done. So we are on Google. You can search for So here is it. So make sure you copy this particular one. Search for whatever currency is associated with your own currency. So double click over here. And at this particular part here, you put it at the beginning of this 0. Then put it over here. Before the hash key here, put it, hit your enter key. So now you have it. So you have to make sure you do it for every part of it that you need it for. So I can actually copy this one down. Control Z to get it back. So all I have to do right now is to copy everything from here. Just copy to make it easy. So let me show you what I'm going to do right now. So paste this one below here. So what I'm going to do now is to actually copy this one across. For a reason. Let me show you why I did it. So if you look at it right now, this one here, I don't need to actually have it right in. I'm going to delete this one. So for every other part of it, I need to have it. So for this one, I just don't need to have it because this one is just numbers of, total tokens that we actually have right now. So here we go. We have just gotten this created. Do not forget to save your work. It's very important. Save it. Should your system shut down, you can always have it back up. So it is time for you to start designing. The transformation and cleaning has been done. Then the next thing is for you to write our DAX to actually bring our calculation to life. We have done that. And the next phase right now is the designing face, which means we have to bring this particular, where the heck is it? We have to bring this particular sketch to life. So how do we go about that? It's always easy. Your comment always encourages me. Leave a comment, let me know what you think about this particular project. To bring this particular whole sketch right in here to life is very easy. All you have to do is to understand colors and the type of charts you could actually use to actually bring them to life. So let us quickly go through it. So we are right here. We have to go to a dashboard environment. As we are here, let us click over this particular color part right in here and bring this very logo to this particular page. Paste it right in here. So we can actually make it small, something like this to fit. So the next thing we have to do right now is to bring in our background color. So we already have our colors right in here. So this is the background color right here. So copy the color code to make it easy for you to use. So once you have copied the color code right now, go over to here and Control A. Once you Control A, go over to the top ribbon and click on this particular part and go over to more colors. Once you have done that, click on custom and over here, paste in the color and just go ahead and click on OK. So right away, it's not making any damn sense. What can we now do? Let's just find out. So if you look at the logo, it's not popping out. So for that particular case, we have to go all the way to the top ribbon here, go to Insert and bring Illustration, then Shapes, take up this particular shape here, drag it, and have it start from here up to this particular part, then make this way. So once you have done this now, the next thing we have to do is to make sure we turn this into white. So no outline, we remove the whole outline, go over to the fill color, we actually turn this one to white. So now the logo should actually go in. Right click to bring the logo to front. So just adjust it to fit into what you really want. Something like this looks perfectly okay. So we now have this. The next thing we have to start building right now is a particular card we're going to have all our KPIs right on, right? Before we build that, we just have to make sure we go all the way back to the top ribbon again, then bring this rounded corner rectangle, drag it down here. So once we have done this, go over to here, you can see. So you can see this particular big shape background. Just double click here and copy this very color code from here. Then let's go all the way back here now. Right click and go to Format. Let's click over here. More colors. We paste in the color code we have just copied over here. Then we'll just click on this and no outline. So once we have done this right now, we have to start it from here. So remove it. If need be, start it from the bottom here. Move it up like this. Then the rounded corner should be reduced. You just want to add a little rounded corner to it. So now, can you see what we have right now? This is how it looks. It's now looking more beautiful than what we even thought. Okay, once we have actually gotten this one done, confirm and make sure everything is in order. I can make sure, let me go over here. I'm using 90. Can reduce this to 80. Then once I reduce to 80, I can have more space. Then, which means I can drag this one down. Then over here, I'm going to drag this one to this particular part. You can actually make sure that one, covers everything. So we'll make sure we centralize this particular one here. Spend some time formatting this is very important. So we have this one. The next thing we have to do right now is to make sure we create a particular bar at the top where all our KPIs will definitely sit. It's very easy. Let me show you. So duplicate this particular one and make it smaller. Bring it up here and select the gradient here. I already have it right in here. So if I go over to this particular part here now, you have gradient, fill 1, 2, and 3. Those are the colors I have used for the 3 right? So let me go ahead and show you. If I click on it right now, the first one carries this particular color, color code right in here. Can you see? We have it already. Second one carries the color code. Third one carries this particular color code right in here, which is this particular one here. Just fill it in and make sure you come over here and select any one of your choice from here, right? So it depends on how you truly want the gradient to actually fill on your shape. So once we have gotten this done now, the next thing we have to do is to make sure we put it at the right spot. So I'm going to keep it over here. The rounded corner should be pretty showing up very well. So I'm going to keep it somewhere around here and stretch it up to this particular level. Right here, this looks okay. So I'm going to duplicate this one again. Once I have this one duplicated, I have to make it smaller. So once I make it smaller, I have to make the rounded corner to be much than the previous one. So I'm going to bring it up here, then try to make sure you make it this way. So this time around, I have to go over to here and choose to use a particular color. So I already have the color over here. So this is this last color here. I'm going to copy this last color. Then let's go over to this one. Now, more colors. I think it's the same thing. So let's go ahead and just make sure we take it up a little bit. Then this one pops more. So once this pops more, the next thing we're going to do right now, we have to make sure this sits right here. So we're going to have to reduce it a little bit. Then duplicate it. Once you have it duplicated, click on this particular one and just take off the middle one from it. Once you have done that now, click on this one here and choose to use a dark color. Then over here, use a white, something whitish. Then we have to swap this to here, this one to this particular part. So once you have done that, come over here and change the orientation. Something like this. Then over here, overlay this particular one. Then just try to make sure you readjust this one like this. It's going to look more like this. So it depends on what you really want, the feel you want to have right on your card. I want something that looks like this for me. Okay? Once I'm satisfied with what I have right now, I can actually go ahead and start getting things done. So I'm just going to make sure I go ahead and reduce this a little bit. Okay? Something like this looks perfectly okay for me. The next thing I'm going to do right now is to go over to the top ribbon here, insert, illustrations, here, circle. Then I'm going to hold my shift key to drag this particular circle right in here like this. Once I'm done, I'm going to bring it up to this particular level. And the next thing is for me to Control 1 and no outline. I don't want any outline. So the next thing is for me to go ahead and bring up the color I want right on it, something like this. Okay? Now, we have inbuilt icons that we can actually use, and some icons are not actually existing right here. What we can actually do is to make sure we go to a particular website that will definitely help us to actually bring those icons, So over here now, let's go over to this particular insert here and illustrations. Then we go over to icons. So once we get to icons here, we have to actually choose the icons we want to use. So we can make a search, or we can see here, those are the icons available. Then we have this one. So let us go with these particular 3 icons. So they're going to appear in blacks. So we can quickly change their colors to whatever we really want right here, right? So let me just make sure I select the one that can be visible to me. So once I have actually selected, I can actually separate them. I want to use this particular one over here, this very one. So if I must use this one over here, I can just go ahead and resize it and have it in the middle of it like this. So you can make it a little bit darker than what it is right now. Let's go with something like this. Nicely done. Okay, so right now we are good to go. This is where we have to actually bring in our total revenue, right? This is where we have to bring in our total revenue. So all we have to do is to go all the way to the top ribbon here, go to Insert, go to Illustrations, go to Shapes, and over here, we type in total revenue. So once we have done this right now, the next thing we have to do is to go to the top ribbon and click on this to maximize the value. Then we'll push it into this color. Then we have to turn off the fill. Here we go. So once we have done this right now, we just have to make sure we do this. But before then, we could Ctrl D to duplicate it, Ctrl Z, then move this particular one away, and this particular one should be used over here. Then we have to change the orientation like this. Can you see this right now? So this is exactly what we want. So next again is going to be, we need other 4 KPIs, right? So which means we have to actually make sure we have this one into 4 places. So we have to bring this one over here, duplicate this, keep this one over here, and that one. Then that is going to be this. So which means we have to make sure we adjust this to fit into this particular environment. Okay, here we go. We are almost there. So just make sure you save your work. It's very important. So we're going to make this one to be operational costs. So here is going to be net profit. So this one is going to be profit margin. So while this particular one here is going to be birds sold. Okay, so once I've done this now, I'm going to hold my Control key to select all of them like this. So just reduce it by 1 point. So something like this looks perfectly okay for me, right? So the next thing I'm going to do right now is just for me to copy, hold my Control key to select all of them, then hold your Control key to drag them all the way down here, then release it. Right? So now we have to bring in all the values that are peculiar to those particular, things right here. So we just have to do the same exact thing for this particular one. Drag it down. Then let's go over to the top ribbon, go to View, go to Formula Bar. So make sure you put your equal sign. Let's go to our analysis sheet right in here. Then we have to pick this very one. Then let us quickly have it formatted. So we just go over here and make it bigger. Then we just have to go ahead and select this white color. So we make sure our revenue, overshadow every other ones. So we just have to go ahead and move it closer to this one. So once we have done that now, the next thing we have to do is to get this one duplicated. Average selling price. So we just go over here, can make it italic and reduce the size. Ctrl D to duplicate it. So we can make this one smaller. Keep it around here. Let's go ahead and pick it up. So do we have anything like that? Average selling price? Yeah, we have it. So here we go. We have it right in here. We want to go with this one. Then we're going to reduce it though. Let's give it the same formatting for now. Then let's go back and make it small. Make the color calm. We don't want to overshadow this one here. So this is what we can do to have this KPI created. So let us bring this one down and align this one properly to fit into it. So something like this looks perfectly okay. So now we have to bring in our costs, operational costs right now. So we have to format this. So we have those KPIs like this. So the next thing we have to do right now, let us go ahead and reduce this particular one here. We'll have more space over here. So the next thing we have to do right away is to bring in some icons. So we already have this particular icon right in here that we can actually use. So make sure you reduce this, resize it, and bring the costs. Okay, net profit, let it be this one here. Then bring this one down. We keep this one over here. So we go back and pick one more of it. We already know where to get it from. I'm going to show you a website. Should your Excel does not have these particular icons, I'm going to show you a website where you can actually get this from and make use of it. So you can search for trend. So once you search for trend, you can actually take a look at the different trends you have right in here. Pick any one of them of your choice. So if we go over here now, you can see we wouldn't have access to bring in anything that looks like turkey or birds. So what do we need to do if we don't have something like that? Well, let us search. Okay, we already have it. So let us go with this one. Just reduce it. Okay, right away, hold your control key to select all of them. Then control 1. Now go over here, select a cool color for it. Let's step out of it. So now this is what we have. Our KPIs are ready. So what is left right now is having some other charts to this, right? So which means we have to make sure we go back and understand what the business is looking forward to seeing. If you look at it, it says, I have data from my turkey farm business, including sales, cost, customers, branches, and payments, but I don't really understand how to analyze it. I would like you to help me turn this data into simple Excel dashboard so I can clearly understand how my business is performing. So right now, there is no specification on the kind of chart needed. So we have to actually come up with our own way of analyzing this particular data. So that was how we actually got this created, right? So if you look at it right now, we have actually, gotten this, no, not this part, this very part here achieved, the KPI parts here achieved. So right now, we have to go for other charts that we have right in here. It's very simple. Let me show you. If we come over to this particular part, we have where we talked about chart, cards, like the color we want to use for it. So we already have this color. Go ahead and copy this exact color and use it. So right now we go over to our dashboard environment here. So we have to go to the top ribbon, go to insert, from there illustrations, then we pick on this shape, the rounded rectangle, drag it down, control 1. Then we just go ahead and actually bring in the color. So more colors, paste in the color code you have actually copied, write in it. And now as you can see, it has changed the color. Then take off the line you have in it. So if you look at it right now, the color is a little bit fainting into the main background that we have. So we want to make sure we step it up a little bit. What then can we do? Let us play around with it. So click over it and let's go over to here. And from there, click on the shadow. Let's go over to here. Click on the one that has this particular center offset. Then make sure you use 95% of it. Or let us try 90%. Then step off it. Right now, it has stepped off from the background. Just this little thing we have just done right now. Okay? So what we're going to do right now is to make sure we come over here and make it bigger. Let's do this. So I always love to be hiding my formula bar to make sure I see the whole view when before I actually decide to say things out right. So just make it this way. Okay. Now, what will go in here? What will go in here is actually the seasonality and growth analysis. So which is going to be over here now. We can copy this, copy from here, bring it over here. So we just do revenue by month, right? So how do we get this done? We want to make sure we create a standard line chart for this. So to get that done right now, we go over to analysis. Then we can copy this, whole of this, and we step off from there. We come over here, we paste it down. Once we have done this right now, we want to make sure we have the show field list turned on. Then we have to remove every single thing we have right in here, exclude the revenue. Remove everything, take everything out, take everything out. So we have just the revenue right in here. So what is next that we can do? So we just have to go over to calendar here and bring in the month name into here. So if you look at it right now, something is actually not working rightly. So who can actually spot this? I want somebody to do that for me. So before you actually think about it, let me just do something here. So let us create an array. This array will help us to actually go ahead and get this whole of this part here, then create it once more. So if you want to clean up this particular pivot table right now, all you have to do is to go all the way to the top ribbon, go to this particular part and design, then click on show report, that is report layout. Click on this particular one. Then this one now shows the name instead of row label. Okay, right now, can somebody tell me what is wrong with this particular pivot table? Something is wrong. You can't find out. Let's create something. Over here, select. Then let's go ahead and create our line chart. Maybe by now, should have been thinking about what the heck is going on. So the line chart we're going to create now will be this particular chart over here. Now remove this particular one. Can somebody still think of what is going on right now? You can't. Okay, let me help you. If you look at it right now, this month starts from April and it ends in September. How can we fix this? It's very important. That was why we have month number. If you used to work in Power BI before now, you would have known this. It's very simple. So let's see how we can fix this. Let's go over to the top ribbon, go to Power Pivot here. From Power Pivot, click on Manage. Then while we are here, we have to choose the calendar we have created, which is this particular one over here. Then from here, click on the month. Then go over to this particular sort by column. Click over here and choose the column you want to sort by, month number. Then click on OK. So we have just solved the situation, right? So let us quickly go back here. Now, let's see what happens. From January down to December, it has been fixed for us. This is what you can do. Okay, so this chart here looks beautiful. I love it. But there is one thing I want to actually add. I want to be able to mark the max and the mean area. So how do we do this? Okay, let's make sure we just make this one smaller. Keep it over here. Over here, I'm going to type in max, mean, max, L, mean, L. So max and mean simply means we want to extract the max month value or the max month revenue. The mean simply means we want to extract the minimum value or the minimum month revenue. Then the max L and the max L and the mean L simply means now we want to create a label which is very short, not as huge as these numbers we have right in here, a compressed number. Don't worry, I'm going to get you right in there. Okay, to get this done right now is very easy. We put an equals right sign right here. We use the word if to ask if this particular value is equals max. How do we find max? We find max from all of these values. So your F4 key to lock it down is very important. Think about it. So once you have done that now, you close and you put a comma. So this is going to say if this particular value here, which is January, is equals to max, which means if it happens to be the max value, then go ahead and give us this. Otherwise, do give us NA. Then go ahead and close. Then hit your enter key. Then if you look at it right now, if I copy down, the max value falls in here, then we have it. So if you want to look at how it works, let me show you. If I just type in just max value over here, and I just highlight this particular portion here. Sorry, this very portion over here. And I hit my enter key. I have the same exact value right in here. Can you see how it is right now? So this is what we need to do. Right away, I'm just going to come over here and copy this exact value from here. Then over here, paste it down, double click, and instead of us showing max, right now we can show the mean value. Can you see? So copy down. So it has fall into February. That is when we have the minimum value. The max L and the min L, we do not need to actually write them from the scratch. We already have the formula or the function that had done that for us. So let's come over here, double click on this one, copy everything from here, Ctrl to copy. So once we get back to here now, so we paste it in here. So we double click over here, make sure we highlight this particular portion. This is the max, we just click over here. So double click on this one, Ctrl C, double click over here to highlight it, you paste it, you paste this one, you paste this one, you paste this one as well. So once you have done that now, you can copy again. So now, oh, what did I do? Paste, okay, double click. Can you see the format here? Beautiful. Let's see if it will actually get it for us this way. Now it works automatically. Just go ahead and see what I'm talking about. Very simple and easy. Reuse what you have done before. You don't have to write from scratch again. All right, everyone. So once we have done this right now, it is time for we to actually start to integrate what we have done right in here. But the thing is this, I'm not sure if it is going to work. Why do you think so? Let's find out. So over here now, if I right click and go to select data, go to add, what I want to add now is the max. Then over here, wipe off what you have right in here. Then select this particular environment down to here. Then click on OK. This is how it looks. It's partially working, but it's not giving us what we actually want. Don't worry, we're going to fix it. Next again is for me to click on add again. Then this time around, we are adding the mean. Then we take off this particular part again. Then we go over here. So we select, we click on OK. Then we click on OK here. So if you look at it right now, our line chart is not looking beautiful at all. This is not readable in any way. So what we can do right now is to actually make sure we right click on it and we choose change chart type. Then we come over to the line charts here. Then we choose to use this line chart. None of them is working. None of them is working. Oh no. None of them seems to actually do the work for us. What can we now do? I'm thinking. Okay, let's say if I have to do this from the scratch, will it work? So which means we have to select this particular environment like this. Exclude those ones. Those ones here, they are not numbers. We can't use them. They are texts. Remember. But we're going to use them after all. Let's go over here. Now insert. Here, we select this directly. It works. So the highlight for the mean, the highlight for the max. All we have to do is to take off this very one from here. Then we can just go ahead and remove this one from here. So now we have to make sure we some kind of work on this. Let us take off this particular one. So first of all, we click on this particular one here. So once we click on this very dotted part of it, we go over to here. We select marker. Once you select marker, you go over to marker option here. Once you're in the options, you actually go ahead and click on none. So once you click on none, what happens? They have disappeared. Exclude the mean and the max. Just think about it. So now we can click on this one here. For the max value, we want to use something green to identify high, red, low, right? So, or gray, low, whatever. So now you are here under the line. If I select this, this is the border. So let us go to marker. We're on the marker area. Then we select something greenish. If I step off right now, I have something like this. So select again, go over here, go to the marker. Let's go over here, border, no. Select marker itself, built-in, then you increase it to 9. So you come over here. So built-in, you increase this one to 9. So you say no border for it. So once you have done all of this, the next thing you have to do right now is for you to take off the grid lines. So click on the line chart itself, go over here, and select the smooth line. That makes it look beautiful for you. Okay, next again is for you to go over here and add the, let us add this thing, what do I call it? Data label, for only where we have max and min. So we come over here, we click on data label. So once you click on data label, click on this particular one again. So this time around, we're going to actually bring in this max L and min L. So while you click on this one here, so we go over to here, select label option, select this particular one. Then we select the max area here. So we click on OK. Now, as you can see, we turn off this particular value. So what do you see? Something like this. So you can decide to match this with the color later after all. But for now, let's go with this one. So if you look at it, it has been done. You just have to select and deselect the value from here. So we have this. So if I want to format this right now, I can go over here, go to here, click on increase, or leave it at the same thing, bold it, and come over here, select this color to match it. Then come over here, make sure it's bold. Select the green color here to match it. So automatically, it has actually depicts something very nice. All right. So this has to go to our dashboard environment, Control X. So we now go ahead to our dashboard environment here. We paste it in. We make sure we actually make it this way. So we take off fill and line. Select this particular one here. Go over here and choose to use this. It pops. So if you look at the color we have actually set for this one, they're not looking nice at all. So we have to keep them to a neutral color, like white color like this. That pops better because we have white background. It's not every color that will pop out in white. So can you see it now? Just follow the same thing I'm doing. So the next thing now is the line chart right in here. This line chart should actually relate to the color of our background, whatever would pop out from the black background that we have. So if we go over here now, we can select this particular color. Then I don't like this. I can actually make sure I tweak it a little bit to make sure it gives me what I want. So you select this back again, then you go over here, you select and you go to more colors. Once you are here, you can just move this one to this particular part. You are changing this. Let's see how this looks. So better. You can always mix your color the way you want it. If you look at it right now, this line chart has actually stand out. We have marked the minimum value and the maximum value. And this is exactly what it is that we want to have. Okay? Next again is just for you to actually create another card here, bring it down. Then bring this one down. A white space is very important. So once you have this, just make sure you bring this to this particular part here. So what we want to have here right now is the revenue by year. So Ctrl D to duplicate this. Over here we have the year over year change. So bring it over here. So let's see how we can actually create this particular magic right in here. It's very simple. So we go over to analysis. While we are here, we just have to scroll all the way back here and copy this very one. Ctrl C to copy. So once we have copied, we just go back. And over here, we paste in what we have copied. So instead of us to be looking at the monthly level, we go over to calendar, we bring in the year into this particular part. So if I want to create my chart with this, let's see how it is going to look. So before then, I have to bring in revenue for the second time. Revenue. I'm going to drag it in here. So for now, I want to actually make sure I right-click on this particular one and go to show value as percentage of what? Of difference. That is different from. Then this helps us to create year-over-year change. Have you seen it right now? So the next thing now is that how do we visualize this? It's very important. So what I'm going to do right now is to come over here and select this particular portion. Here we go. So if I say I want to visualize this right now, I'm going to do this here. Let's do insert. So this is how it's going to look. It's not making sense. So what do? Let's select this insert recommended chart. So we have this, we have this. If I choose to use this, and I just do something like this, then the chart is still looking somehow to me. Too many gaps here. So what do I now do to make sure, I don't know if I could do something that will actually make it look better than this. The gap is way too much. So what can I do to save this situation not to happen? Let's see what we can do about it. So what I'm going to do right now is just to make sure I turn off this totally. Then over here now, I'm going to actually bring the year up. So let's turn this off. So we just bring in the year. So over here now, I'm going to do Y concatenate this to it, right? So I can now bring in this particular part. So here we go. I think, does it have any difference? Let's see. Not much difference though, but it works. Okay. Not much difference. Okay, not much difference. So it's optional if you want to do it this way, but I think the gap is not that bad. So what we can do right now is to just remove this and make this a bit smaller. Let's Ctrl X to cut it. And right now we go over here, we paste this one down, and we bring it at this particular level. We just select this. So now, Ctrl 1, we turn off every single thing we have right in it. So this particular part here, we have to take care of it. So go to Home and Shop. So click on this one here and turn this on. Then we have one more thing to bring in. So what we can do right now is to select this particular one. So we have to bring in the year-over-year change. Go to over here and put an equal sign. We'll go to this particular part. We'll bring this one in. So now we have to bring in data label to it. So how do we get that done? It's simple and easy. So let us turn on the data label. So if I turn it on and I go over here right now, you can see it's pretty too much. It has actually, look weird. That is why we have actually created a particular shorter format of it. Let's go ahead and fix that. So while we are here, we have to go over to the pre-formatted one, double click on this one and copy this whole part here. So we just come over here now and I can decide to use this particular one. equals, paste it in, remove one of the equals. So select this one, double click on this one to copy. Easiest way, just go ahead and double click on this, paste again, paste for the last time, you paste, you hit the enter key, and bring this one down. Okay, so once we get back here right now, we can actually use this over here. So Control 1, select this one, go over here, select this particular part. So now we can stretch this. So we have to select this one and make sure we go back over here, click on this one and take off the value. So if you look at it right now, we still have some issue with it. We just have to make sure we expand it to make sure it shows everything. So in that case, we just have to click on this one and expand this particular one. Then this here and this particular one here can actually be moved to this particular part. So something like this looks perfectly okay. If we go through this again, we have achieved this particular, two part right in here. So we have to create the remaining cards and do the other analysis. So it's very simple. All I want to do right now is just to make sure I duplicate this one, have it right in here. So just fill it up to this particular part right here. Make sure there is a space. This particular alignment is done. Then we just have to bring this one over to this particular part. I think this one is not going to be here. Let us duplicate this very one again and bring it over to this level here. So once we have this here now, we can reduce this particular one, duplicate this one here, and keep this around here and fill it up to this level. Right? So once we have done this, we just have to come over to this one, duplicate it, and resize it, bring it over to this level here. So expand it to this level. So you have to reduce it this way. Then Control 1. Let us actually affect this over here. You can always remove this, then you can see it better. So right now I'm going to take off this very one, remove it. So once I've done that, can you see how it looks now? So you can change the orientation. So change direction to what you want. Can you see? There are different directions you can actually use over here. You understand? So it depends on what you really want to actually achieve. So if I choose to use this particular direction now, I can just make it this way. So I can introduce on that one again here. Then I can move this one here to make it spread. So can you see it? I think I love it this way. Then this time around, I'm going to go ahead and get this one duplicated, or still this one duplicated, bring it over to here. Once I've done that, I'm going to click on this one and apply the same thing over this one, no grid lines. So you just move it this way. So duplicate again, keep this one over here. So bring this one down. So what I'm going to do right now is select the 3 here, go to the top ribbon, go over here. So you have to learn how to use this particular alignment here. So distribute vertically. So it gives us equal spaces. So it gives us equal spacing between them. That is what that one is meant for. So if you look at it right now, we have just done justification to it. We have gotten exactly what we have right in here into this particular part, even if it is not exact. This is just to show us how things should actually go, right? It's very easy. So this is exactly what you need to do. So next again is for you to start bringing in other charts into it, which is very important.